they have transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about outdoor fires. Sitting around a fire is the oldest, most basic form of human activity.
What's new is in the way fire is burned. We can show you how to burn cleaner with a lot less smoke.
The radiant heat and light from an open fire is unmatched. It kindles our spirits and connects us to the outdoors. And now it's easier to experience and enjoy.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs wood and gas burning fire pits and fireplaces. Let us help you experience an outdoor fire without all the smoke.
Come see the many ways you can enjoy a fire outdoors.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces. Out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Next Chapter Booksellers is not just a bookstore, it's a hub for book clubs. Connect with like-minded readers in the Sci-Fi Fantasy Club, Manga Club, the brand new Romance Book Club, and more. A friendly bookseller from Next Chapter Booksellers will handle all the arrangements and lead a vibrant discussion. Plus, for the younger kids, there's First Chapter Storytime every Saturday. Share your own book club ideas and find out more at nextchapterbooksellers.com. That's Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand in St. Paul.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilio. Showers and storms possible tonight with a low of 65. More rain and storms expected on Saturday with a high of 76. Scotchamama's Hot Barbecue offers the huge taste of selections like baby back ribs and pulled pork sandwiches out of a little place. Scotchamama's is located off of West Diamond Lake Road in South Minneapolis. Visit their website at scotchamamas.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies are trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. We discuss local and national Native news and events, and as you know, Haley, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
They are. This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Yes, they do, and what a great sponsor. And we always have Dr. Stately on Mondays, and with his insight about everywhere from COVID to the great rich history of Franklin Avenue and his family. It's always great to talk to Dr. Stately, and we really appreciate Native American Community Clinic's support all these years. Hey, we're here. It's Friday. We're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we were at a thing last night, Haley and I, for the station, and it's so cool to hear all the great feedback from sponsors and other people that are on the shows. On AM 950 specifically, and your name comes up, and it's just, we're all about, getting a platform for our Native relatives like yourself to what's going on in Turtle Island, what's going on with their life, and especially for you, just the great updates that you give us on what's happening politically here in Indian country, here in Minnesota. So I just want to let you know it's been noted that we have a great show, and it's been noted too that Haley and I always say that we have great guests, and that's what makes the show what it is. So welcome.
Well, aho everybody, Matakiape Tiwahe. Nice to be here with all of you on this kind of overcast Friday, but that just means it's sort of a low energy day, which sometimes I really need.
Yeah, especially we're talking about your grandbabies, and then how, lifting them works your core, and sometimes, if I
Yeah.
exercise, I'm old, I need a little nappy after that.
Well, I think if I wasn't on the radio right now with you, I'd be resting myself while the girls are resting. So
Good one.
yeah.
Hey, a lot going on. We have our session. When is the session coming up again? Is that October or?
No, the next session for Minnesota is in February. So it's a 2-year cycle, let's say, where the first year starts in January, and that's generally the finance year, where we work on all the finances. And then the next year is we start in February, and that is around policy. But most of the time when you're creating policy, there are dollars connected to it. You need to have somebody do the work, create curriculum, whatever it is. So there's some spending also in that second year. But here in Minnesota, we've been going through a tough month with a call to the governor to have a special session around our some legislation that we tweaked. And when by we, I say the Democrats, the DFL here in Minnesota, tweaked around our school resource officers and the sort of pressure that those officers can use or cannot use when they are restraining a young person. So they can't, lay them down on their stomachs and put their knee on their back or in any way put the pressure on the kids so that they can't breathe, or they can't even say, I'm in pain, that hurts, I can't breathe, whatever it is. And it was a piece of legislation that the Minnesota House had passed a couple of times. And then this session, as the result of a working group with a number of school districts and special interest groups, their recommendation was to pass this legislation through in the governor's bill. And they did is in 2019 we passed some legislation that restricted SROs, school resource officers, from using that kind of force with students who are receiving special education instruction. So it was just carved out for that group of students. Well, really, all we did was we broadened it to all of the students. I mean, you can't use that kind of force on people in prisons. It's already not outlawed against our kids who are receiving special ed education. So we said, just to help with any confusion, you can't do that for any kid. I mean, you can restrain them under certain circumstances, especially if there's imminent body harm to themselves or to others.
Right.
But it's not like you can just grab a kid, throw them down, and and have at it. So this gave the League of Cities consternation because they were concerned about liability, and then that started the public safety people to say, well, then maybe we shouldn't do this. And we changed another area in a sentence from instead of or to to. And all of a sudden they're saying, this is so confusing. We don't know what we can and cannot do. So then they started pulling all of our resource officers out of the schools, which of course makes people very nervous. But, not every school district in Minnesota has them.
Right.
And not every school in a school district has them as well. And so there were plenty of school districts that said, you know what, we have a good relationship with our public safety. We're keeping our SROs, because I think, you know, too, if this is the right kind of person in a school, they build great relationships with the students. Kids can build confidence with them. It's a great role model. Oftentimes the SRO get a little heads up that there's going to be trouble in the school, and they can try to do some de-escalation ahead of time. So, you know, that's what we've been up to for the last month. It's been extremely time consuming and actually kind of annoying because it has sucked up so much of our time. And of course, the Republicans were calling for us to hold a special election, even though at least two of the Republicans in the education committees actually voted on the final bill, and they knew that was in there. But we are like, nope, we're not having that special session, and we will look at the role of SROs in the schools, how we need, you know, a lot of them aren't licensed, don't have a special licensure, or haven't had the training that they should. So in a way, it's got us moving and working on that. But hopefully we can find a good consensus.
Wow, Mary, that's a really good update. I don't know if when you were last teaching, but when I was last teaching, I think St. Paul got rid of their SROs for a while there, and they might be back now. But I've seen like really good ones over the years, and like the last one we had was super nice. He took the kids fishing. He really tried to be in community, and he was definitely the last resort. But, you know, I was doing this for 25, 30 years, and, you know, I saw some bad ones, but they were gotten rid of really as soon as principals and people saw how they were dealing with our students. So it just sounds like it's just a political mess, and and I was surprised to see Hennepin County was confused too, because, you know, I thought that sheriff was pretty, I don't want to say liberal, but at least open to what was going on. So it became a little political mess, and I'm glad you brought it up and talked about it. That's just a really interesting thing, because all of a sudden it became Republicans versus Democrats, and then you bring up, well, the Republicans voted for it too. So I don't know, really. Thanks a lot for that update, and let's take a quick break. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh and Haley. Up later in the show, Wendy with the update of our sacred animals, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
If the statistics say that 1 in 3 Native women and 1 in 6 Native men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime, it means our whole community is affected by sexual violence. 1 is too many. Don't stand by, stand up. Don't engage in acts of sexual violence, and shut down the dirty jokes, the gossip, the victim blaming and shaming. As a community, we can change the way we respond. Contact the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition to attend a workshop to learn more. Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Bonjour, hello. My name is Wabin. I am an enrolled member of the White Earth Nation, descendant of the Navajo Nation, and co-chair of the Indigenous Employee Resource Group with the Minnesota Department of Transportation. MnDOT is hiring for a variety of positions from road maintenance to accounting and more. We offer great benefits. For more information or to set up a one-on-one resume and application assistance, visit mn.gov/careers, or you can text or call 612-257-2388. 612-257-2388.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. So avoid gimmicks and call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067 or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul, native owned, bringing us the best coffee that keeps us awake.
I am awake, and I love their coffee. I love Steve's blend. It's a dark blend, and it tastes really bitter, and so it helps with me being really a nice guy, and it balances me to be bitter too at the same time. So it's really,
Bittersweet.
that's right. Thank you, State Senator. Hey, we're here.
Bittersweet.
We're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and wow, thanks for that update. I just wanted to bring that up again because I feel like our SOR or SRO at the school that I taught at, the last one was he was really connected with the kids. He took them fishing. He did all these things that he didn't have to do, and
Right.
he was chill. He was mellow. So yeah.
I have a really great story, just kind of since we're ending that topic too. So I went to Forest Lake High School. I graduated in 2016, and we had officers in our high school as well, all throughout junior high too, I believe. And we had some really great officers who did build great connections with some of our kids. And I remember it was, I think, the year after I graduated high school, our mayor at the time was trying to completely get rid of our police department in Forest Lake. And it was actually our students at Forest Lake High School did a big walkout, and we protested. And that played a role in the decision to end up keeping our police department. So
was it the whole department, Haley, or just the SROs?
It was the whole department.
Oh, wow.
Yep. They wanted to use sheriff officers in Washington County instead.
Oh,
I do vaguely remember that now that you mention it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's the power of those Gen Zs, Senator.
That starts it all. That's where it all begins. And now look at you. But I mean, I know they're, those if they're a good SRO, they do a really great job. And the last one that I had at the middle school I taught at, he'd go to the kids' basketball games. He'd, go down to the park. Kids would say, yeah, we had this big family fight over the weekend, and now everybody's mad at each other, and cousins would come to school mad at each other because their parents are mad at each other. And he would soothe the waters. And so I mean, there's a place for everybody in school if you are there to support the students and the staff. So
it's funny. I was talking to somebody last night too about it. And, you, I'm sure, have mentored teachers over the years too, but I would tell first year teachers, if this year is about you, you're going to have a terrible year. If it's about the kids, you'll have a great year. So it's up to you if you're going to have a good or bad year.
Yeah.
And we know that if you're student, I don't want to say student friendly, but if you're definitely there for the students, like a lot of our SROs were in my career, you're going to have a good year, and you're going to have less problems. I've seen situations de-escalate because of relationships that possibly wouldn't have happened where there's conflict in schools. So relationships, like we talk about all the time here in Native Roots Radio, are so important everywhere, but definitely in the school setting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got 2 yeahs, right on. So what else we wanna talk about here? We got, a lot of things going on here. You're gonna go to a powwow, tomorrow, and I think that's
Yeah.
you know what? State Senator, before we get any further, I forgot to mention this in the first segment, but we gotta wish our Lieutenant Governor a happy birthday today.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I saw that. Happy birthday, Lieutenant Peggy Flanagan.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Peggy.
Right on, and we just gotta give her a big shout out for sending, those biweekly reports from the Lieutenant Governor's office. It's really well appreciative, and of course, like you, State Senator, you give us credibility, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we appreciate you and her.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so, we got a powwow coming up here this Saturday. Maybe we can just talk a little bit about that, and I always think it's fun to remind, because I've been running into a lot of listeners over, the last few years, different listeners that come to our events, because we do talk about things like powwows, that there's etiquette and it's open to everyone, and come join us. And that's been an exciting part of this job. But let's talk a little bit about the powwow coming up here, the Powwow of Hope. And it's about cancer survivors. It celebrates the cancer survivors. And so, in State Senator, you may be speaking tomorrow, so that'll be awesome. And it's a powwow, and it's indoors, so if it's in climate, it's a nice setting. That I'm glad that it's back after, I think, a couple years of being gone.
Yeah. This is probably one of my very most favorite powwows. First of all, it's kind of small and intimate, and it's a powwow fundraiser for a really important issue, like the American Indian Cancer Foundation. And I mean, I don't think any of us don't have somebody close or know somebody that has passed away from cancer. My eldest sister, who was honestly like she was in a lot of ways more of a mother to me than my own mother was, passed away from brain cancer very quickly. I mean, just very quickly. And it rocked my whole family to our core, because she was such a kind person and a gentle person. She was the kind of person you could go to and like literally spill your guts. And it's not like she was trying to boss you around or tell you what to do, but she would help you kind of sort things out. I had some trauma when I was in high school, and she got me through it and never told anybody. I mean, it was our secret for decades and decades and decades. And she actually like took it to her grave.
Wow.
That was the kind of person that she was. And so when we look at how we can support not only our cancer patients and the people that are living with cancer, but their families and their community that miss them. And this one is, again, for the American Cancer Society. It starts at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and it's at the base camp facility, kind of over by the airport by Fort Snelling. So the grand entry's at 1, and it goes until there's a feast at 6:30. So stay for dinner. And there's a silent auction. They have a rock climbing wall for folks. There'll be opportunities to play lacrosse. Lots of healthy vendors there to talk about how to, take care of yourself and your family. And so, yeah, it's just going to be a really, really nice day.
You know, in years past too, we did a live broadcast there too, and
Mhm.
I got to meet. I think that's one of the first times I met the governor, and I think it was
Yeah.
before he was governor. I think
Yeah.
Peggy were there running, and Peggy will not only happy they asked, but kind of proud that they asked.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, that there is protocol, but I think the best thing is to come, be respectful, and then you know find the people who are maybe in charge or who look like they're in charge, and just ask the question, because I think nobody is ever going to get mad for asking a really good question.
And to State Senator, when we talk about vendors, as you know, Native Roots Trading Post is at a lot of these kind of things. If they're selling it there, that means you can wear it no matter who you are.
Yep.
So if they're earrings, support the artist, T-shirts, art. Definitely come and support those vendors because it's legitimate, real
Yeah.
Native art.
Yeah, that's a really good point to make. I think folks are always worried about like culturally appropriating if I wear these earrings or if I wear a shirt or if I've got sweetgrass, things like that. And
Mhm.
so that's a really good point to make. But I just kind of wanted to step back and talk about cancer in our
Mm.
Native communities. Um, I did a little research before the show today, and as I knew, it supports the notion that Native American people are highest risk for
Mm.
cancer compared to non-Hispanic white people, and we have those higher rates of cancers like lung cancer. A lot of our folks smoke. I mean,
Right.
I've been a big smoker in my lifetime. The colorectal, the liver, stomach, kidney, and of course, breast cancer is higher in our Native communities. I think part of it, of course, is the environment, but also the foods that we eat or we don't eat. And there's just lots to talk about.
Let's talk a little bit about that in our next segment. That's a great point. You're listening to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, Haley, and up next after that will be Wendy with our Sacred Animals section. We'll be right back after this short break.
J&S Bean Factory is a Native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Hey, it's Patrick. It seems like all kids do during summer is drag dirt into the house. The good news? The kids are back in school. And fortunately, there is Zero Res. Zero Res is the healthy way to get your home feeling fresh and clean again. Even if your house doesn't look dirty, you need to call Zero Res to remove the dust, dander, and bacteria in your carpet from a summer of fun. Lucky for you, you can score big this month with great savings. Right now, you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $149. It's also a perfect time of year to get your air ducts cleaned this month with $100 off your air duct cleaning. And air duct cleaning will help alleviate allergies and asthma. You will enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home will stay cleaner longer. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResMinnesota.com or by calling 952-ZERO-RES and asking for the AM 950 special. Zero Res.
Do yourself a favor and check out the amazing cuisine of eatlocalminnesota.com. More than just a website, eatlocalminnesota.com provides you with the best local and independently owned restaurants in the Twin Cities. Specializing in Szechuan and Peking cuisine, the Great Wall Chinese restaurant has been a local favorite since 1981. They offer one of the most extensive menus in the Twin Cities. Favorites include the sesame chicken, imperial beef, and Peking duck. The Great Wall restaurant is located off 45th and France, with takeout available too. More at greatwallrestaurant.us. The next time you're out in South Minneapolis, make Nightingale off 26th and Lyndale your go-to dining option. It's a comfortable neighborhood restaurant that features a delicious menu of American classics, plus a wide drink and cocktail selection. Nightingale has dining room and bar seating available, plus takeout and delivery. Current hours are 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with the full menu until midnight. More at nightingalempls.com.
Hey, it's Tom. Since 2009, All Energy Solar has been providing solar energy solutions to customers. With fully licensed electricians and installers, you can be sure that your solar installation will go smoothly. The team at All Energy Solar understands that every customer is unique. They'll take the time to survey and understand your property to find a solar solution that works for you. One of the biggest advantages of going solar is the opportunity to take advantage of the many solar incentives available. But it can often be confusing to know what you're qualified for. All Energy Solar professionals will help you find out what savings you can apply for and even help with your applications. This is especially important since many rebate programs have limited capacity and are first come, first serve. So it's important to have a professional on your side who will make sure you get every eligible rebate. Get a free no obligation assessment from All Energy Solar's commercial solar specialists by calling 800-620-3370 or visit allenergysolar.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilio. Showers and storms possible tonight with a low of 65. More rain and storms expected on Saturday with a high of 76. Scotcha Mama's Hot Barbecue offers the huge taste of selections like baby back ribs and pulled pork sandwiches out of a little place. Scotcha Mama's is located off of West Diamond Lake Road in South Minneapolis. Visit their website at scotchamamas.com.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I am your host, Robert Pilot, and I'm here with Haley Cherry, and also State Senator Mary Kunesh, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio's Friday edition with State Senator.
Yes, this portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, State Senator, we were kind of ending, in that last segment went really quick, and we were kind of ending talking about statistics in Native Americans and with cancer, and I know it's insane. And you talked about your oldest sister, which, how many times have we heard where people have been diagnosed and they leave us so quick?
I know. It's really hard. You know, you don't have the time or the opportunity to say all the things that you wanted to see, because by the time she was diagnosed, she was already incapacitated at some level. And so yeah, it's really tough. And I think as we look to the future for our for Indian country, we have to make sure that we're creating really healthy communities going forward. I don't know if you watched the recent the Res Dog episode before this week's one, when they busted him out of the institution, and they're talking about elders and how important elders are to the community. And so we want people to live longer and healthier, but we also want to keep our elders around so they can pass down the wisdom and their experience and the generational support that we all depend on. So
well, that last Res Dogs too, and I know a lot of you haven't watched the Reservation Dogs, and it's last show I think is next week. So I think they had 10 episodes this year. And,
Oh, I don't want it to end.
well, what's interesting too, and I don't want to like confuse the conversation here, but it sounds like that they're getting close to ending the writers' strike and actors' strike here, and that would be awesome because we'd love to get Bobby Wilson and Dallas Goldtooth on again and talk about the series. And it's hard for them to talk about it and promote something, especially when they're on strike. So we haven't had those guys on. But the last show was really interesting too. It was it's an emotional show, and Ethan Hawke was on there, which was amazing. He played one of the characters' father that she never knew. That and I was crying during that one because I've had similar experiences with my Hinu and Weha, and so it's a thing that's needed, and hopefully what we're gonna have is some spin-offs from the show. And also I know Sterling Harjo has produced that Basketball Diaries, I believe it's called, the Native basketball thing, and so that's gonna be on Netflix very soon too. So there's still more to come from those guys, but I'm gonna miss these characters.
Oh, 100%. And characters they are. I mean, oh my gosh. And you can almost see, somebody that's just like that. It's if it's your own auntie or uncle or somebody else in the community, you're like, oh my God, they nailed it there. So yeah, I always hate it when these really good series come to an end. And I've been watching what's the other one?
Dark Winds?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so crazy that actor plays totally different. He's a police officer in both of these shows, but totally different person. I mean, 150% opposites, and he plays them both so incredibly well. That guy needs some kind of unique special award.
Well, State Senator Mary Kunesh, do you remember Rihanna Yazzie of New Native Theater?
Yeah.
She wrote the first show to that episode. Or the first
Oh.
episode of that show. How did I say that backwards?
But it's based on
a book. The first year was based on that book, and I think they've kind of gone a little further from the Dark Winds book because I think they did the whole season or the whole book in the first season is what I heard, and then it's just kind of spun off, and then they also got renewed for a third season.
Yeah. Have you so it was based on one of the Tony Hillerman books?
Right.
Have you read any of his books?
No, but I know you have because you're a reader.
Yes. Yes, they are really good. The main character is a character, Jim Chi, and he's the it sort of reminds me of the Native American Longmire. Did you ever watch Longmire series?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that would be another really good one to watch, but that takes place, I think, in Montana, and it's a white sheriff, but he has to work with the tribal members. Anyways, so yeah, the book, the author Tony Hillerman does these really great police mystery kind of things, and I think I think they did a really good job of incorporating some of the book and the characters in there. So I would like to see that one continue as well.
Hey, we should get some sort of party or screening for the movie coming up with
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes, thank you. That's coming up the 20th, so we should rent out a movie theater and have some sort of party here in the next figure that out in the next month, because the more I read about that, and I'm rereading the book, which is insane, and reading the interviews, and then also hearing at cons that they had almost a 45-minute standing ovation after the movie was shown for the first time.
Wow.
I'm excited, and I'm really excited too because I read an article about interviewing what's his name, the help me out here, Haley. Who's the main actor?
Oh,
Leonardo
yeah.
DiCaprio. And you can sense this, and I'm sure you read the book too, that came out in 2018 with the same title, is that it became more FBI centered in the book about how they were going to crack this case. And when they were doing a read through, Leonardo told Martin Scorsese that this should be about the Indians and not the FBI. And so it really flipped and changed. So that's exciting to hear that, but also exciting to hear that our story will be told by Native actors as opposed to, Dancing with Kevin Costner or something like that,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one coming out as well. It was just a riveting book. I
Yeah.
mean, I couldn't put it
True
down.
story. True story.
I know, 100% true story. And that happened with that community, but you start to look around and see where else did that happen, where there was a very intentional infiltration and then annihilation of Native folks that should have been receiving the royalties or the revenue from mineral rights or land rights or water rights or whatever it is. And through the conniving of the non-natives, they lost everything and probably ended up losing their lives as well. So
Right. Well, and the interesting scenario too is that it was a big cover up, happened in 1921. The FBI came in 25, and they were a brand new agency, and it just went deep, and people were being poisoned, murdered. And what I thought was interesting is one of the interviews that they had after cons was that when they were shooting this, Mary, George Floyd happened. When they
yeah,
were shooting this, it came out about Black Wall Street, all these historical things that nobody was taught in school or very few people knew about were exploding at this time in history and during their shooting of this movie.
yeah, it was. I mean, there's a real. I hate to say awakening because then people will connect that to being woke.
We're
But
woke
there
here.
is, yeah. I mean, there's been a great awakening around the misjustice, especially around economics, around
Mhm.
housing, around medical care, to non-white communities, in this great nation of the United States. And
Mhm.
we have to, continue to work on that and talk about it and educate people and then make the really good positive changes that we need to.
Well, we were a nation or nations of 45 to 100 million people that were annihilated off this land. And we had our own economics. We had our own, chiefs and different people that worked in different ways in their tribes. We had it going on here, but we didn't expect people to come like they did, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people running over the land. And so we're resilient, we're still here, and we're the last, I want to say race, but we're the last peoples to really not be colonized. And we can talk about the Irish, and which I'm part of, and talk about other races that were feeling about Mother Earth and Father Sky the same we were. They just been colonized longer, and we're still fighting it here as Native Americans.
Yeah. It's we're not done yet. We're not done fighting. We're not done insisting that we get back what we're due, but also to ensure that, when it comes to taking care of Unchimaka, the Mother Earth, that we're making sure that we're doing it in the best way possible. And a lot of that is getting back to the ways of our ancestors. And for a lot of people, they don't see that as progress, but I think we can do it.
Yeah, and with your help and the help that you've been given, and a lot of our allies and friends in our communities that have been really pulling for us, the next 7 generations is who we're thinking of. So
Yep.
again, hey, thanks so much, State Senator. It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you, and it's always fun and stimulating. Up next, we got Wendy with our Sacred Animals section. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm woke. Oh,
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus over 30 extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/. Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Bonjour, hello. My name is Wabin. I am an enrolled member of the White Earth Nation, descendant of the Navajo Nation, and co-chair of the Indigenous Employee Resource Group with the Minnesota Department of Transportation. MnDOT is hiring for a variety of positions from road maintenance to accounting and more. We offer great benefits. For more information or to set up a one-on-one resume and application assistance, visit mn.gov/careers, or you can text or call 612-257-2388. 612-257-2388.
Fall is here and it's the season of changes. But you know what doesn't change? The fun and excitement at the National Eagle Center in Wabasha. Pack up the family for a perfect day trip and take a drive to Wabasha to join the celebration during their Soar Fall Flight Festival happening September 23rd and 24th. They're highlighting fall migration along the Mississippi River Flyway and celebrating Native American cultures and their connections to eagles. You'll meet the live eagle ambassadors, catch an exciting program in the beautiful Riverfront Amphitheater, and enjoy a front row seat to fall migration. You can explore Native and Indigenous cultures by visiting the exhibitor booths from Effigy Mounds National Monument, Indigenous artist Inkpa Manny, and Native American craftsman Dick Mindikowski. Plus, meet live birds from the Midwest Peregrine Society. Register for an unforgettable eagle viewing trip or behind-the-scenes experience and enjoy seasonal arts and crafts for all ages. It's a fall party with the Eagles, and you're invited. Get all the details online at nationaleaglecenter.org/soar and schedule your Eagle Fun today.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. This is Spirit from Reservation Dogs. Get up and listen.
welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations. How? Hey, next up we got Wendy Pilot with Sacred Animals Fun Fact Friday. Go ahead, take it away, Wendy.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Haley. Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani. That means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega, Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a humane policy volunteer leader for the Humane Society of the United States, and I work on animal issues on the local and state level, and it's always my pleasure to do that. Today's Friday, so it's always Fun Fact Friday. We have some good information I would like to share with everybody. And you might not want to hear this, but now that it's getting colder, you're going to see an influx of spiders in your house. I know, it's gross, right? A lot of these fellers are wolf spiders. Yeah, wolf spider. Before mindlessly killing these babies, please consider letting them be, or at the very least, capturing them and releasing them elsewhere. And this is why you should do that. Wolf spiders are ground hunters. So while they are fast and have fabulous eyesight, they usually stay hidden from your view and don't spin any webs. They eat all bugs considered pests, like crickets, other spiders, mealworms, centipedes, ants, flies, etc. They are very curious, but very gentle, and they make great pets, if you're into that kind of thing, because they rarely bite unless they're extremely scared or hurt. there's scientific research on how their ground silk is helping to slow down global warming. So they are beneficial for not just your own home, but the entire ecosystem. So I know that it's creepy and crawly and it's really scary to have spiders in your house. Robert and I have spiders in our house. We have a couple of spiders that are on the staircase in the corner. So they just live there. They spun. They're not wolf spiders. They're different spiders. But they just live there. I don't, sweep them or vacuum them up. I just I just leave them and they catch other bugs. So, and if there are not
Oh, I think we just lost a Wendy. Not sure if the station computer probably died there, Pat, but we have got the tomorrow or the whole weekend, the National Center of Eagles down in Wabasha has their fall flight event going on. I will be heading down there tomorrow for their 11 o'clock showing. Pretty excited. I have never been, so this will be my first time actually in the town of Wabasha, believe it or not. So yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to learn more about the Eagles, which we talk about a lot. Robert and I come from Eagle Clan. We're Ho-Chunk, which is a nation in Wisconsin, Black River Falls area. And yeah, we're Eagle Clan. And my name is Little Eagle Princess. And how we say that is Chashap Hewangoe Nink. It's a pretty long one. It took me a while to figure out how to actually say that. But shout out to my cousin Dallas for that help with the pronunciation. I know we talk about Robert's name is Wakanja Hare, which means distant thunder. So yeah, if you're headed to the Hope or the Powwow for Hope 2, which is happening in Bloomington, that'll be going on tomorrow. So keep an eye out for Robert will be there. State Senator Mary Kunesh, which Big P Nagigi, thank you for being on with us as always on every Friday. We really, really appreciate your time with us. But other than that, big happy birthday shout out to Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota here, Peggy Flanagan. Happy birthday. And yeah, with that being said, I guess we can play some native tunes for you here. I know next week we're going to be having we will be having Dr. Stately on with us, our usual Robert Lilligren, Bob Blake with the Solar Bear with the Solar News. And yeah, so big Pinagigi again for it was great to see everyone, all of our sponsors and everything. We really appreciate you guys. You've been listening to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and we are still here. We are the next generation. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, and free Leonard Peltier now.